Welcome to our local business spotlight. Attention, adventure seekers and coffee lovers. I'm excited to introduce you to Jeff Archer, owner of YOLO Board Bikes and Coffee, who will let you see the world from a new perspective. So come along on this journey and experience YOLO for yourself, because after all, you only live once. I'm Debbie James, your host of The American Dream. Jeff, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so honored to have you on my show and really hear about your story. Tell us how you got started and where YOLO came from.
We got started with YOLO 17 years ago, right here on the Gulf Coast. Myself and a guy named Tom Losey partnered up to start the paddleboarding brand off. We thought that this was just a great place for people to experience paddleboarding. So much calm water to paddle from the coastal dune lakes. Our Gulf is generally flat and beautiful and Caribbean.
Absolutely.
Many at the rivers and the springs, so many great places. So we decided that this would be a great place to kick that off. When we started off, we sold out of a warehouse on 393. That's where Tom and I met. We actually met. We both were at other businesses, and we were just kind of tenacious in those first days. We were one of the first paddleboarding companies in the state of Florida. For the first 3 years, it was very, very tough for us to sell boards. And then the more people that did it, every time somebody paddled, you knew.
Right.
You knew this is coming. And then all of a sudden, it just really kind of took off.
So how did you go from the boards to now or to then bikes?
We were looking for an annualized business. You know, paddleboarding was so spring, summer, a little bit of fall, and then you'd get to the winter time and it was,
too cold.
It was too cold. And we looked around and saw that, a lot of people here were riding bikes, and the beach cruiser seemed like a great place to start. We teamed up with 360 Blue. We built beach cruisers for these guys. So the single speed bikes turned into later electric bikes.
How in the world did you come up with YOLO? How did that name come about?
Well, again, back to the early days, Tom and I, we were already making samples of boards. We still didn't know what we were going to call the name of the company because we knew we were getting ready to try to climb a tall mountain going against California and Hawaii, which is all surf-driven destination. And then one day in the warehouse, Tom said, "What about YOLO?" And I was like, "YOLO?" And with his hand, he goes, "You only live once." And boom, it was like a ton of bricks that hit me, because that's exactly how you feel when you're paddling a paddleboard. It centers you, it focuses you on being in the moment, and you really feel alive.
Especially in this area, with, as you mentioned, with the dune lakes and the beautiful, beautiful Gulf water.
Exactly, you get so connected to those things, and we're lacking so much of that in our lives.
We really are.
And that name just it made sense.
It is awesome.
So we were able to go in and trademark it for lots of categories like bikes, and we got into coffee and tea.
So how did you get into coffee?
I drink water and coffee. Those are the two things I drink, and primarily black coffee. So we started seeking out an organic beans. We wanted something that was super bold and strong, but without the bitterness. And we ended up in Seattle. That's where we roast our coffee, and was one of the best raw coffee roasters in America. And we're super proud of what we came up with.
That's great. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure talking and hearing more about where you've been and where you're going. And I'm excited about the coffee too. So thank you.
Thanks for coming over to the shop, and you're welcome anytime.
Until next time, fellow adventurers, stay caffeinated and keep living the YOLO life. I'm Debbie James with Scenic Sotheby's International Realty. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.